These 10 roster changes really shook up the pro scene. My name is Braden, and welcome to Valve Guide. CSGO Empire is the leading site for fun entertainment in the CS community. Make sure to check out their $20,000 giveaway and use the code GUIDES on their site for a free 50 cents. Roster changes can really shake up any given sport. To compare some of these is like LeBron going to the Heat or back to the Cavs. These are star players being transferred to teams that sometimes don't even speak their native language. There's a lot of risk involved with these roster changes, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. To start out with number 10, we have Skadoodle and Freakazoid to Cloud9. Skadoodle and Freakazoid are one of the greatest North American combos that I think we've ever seen in CSGO. They joined Cloud9 in early 2015. While it did take a little time for the duo to get settled in, they started winning a good majority of North American events and even went on to beat teams like Fnatic and Envious. Cloud9 is seen as one of the most popular North American teams. Cloud9, I mean, come on. The name is Cloud9. On to number 9, we have Hobbit to Gambit Esports. Hobbit is one of the greatest players to ever come out of Kazakhstan, and he started his trial at Gambit in late 2016 and went on to win the PGL Krakow Major alongside Gambit.
Yeah. Well, you guys just won $500,000. How are you gonna celebrate?
I'm gonna give the money for my family, for my mother and father, of course. And I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After this, the team picked him up on the permanent roster in mid-2017, and he has been doing pretty darn well ever since then. I would highly suggest to keep an eye on Hobbit. Speaking of the PGL Krakow Major, at number 8, we have Zeus to Gambit Esports. Many find Zeus to be one of the greatest CIS endgame leaders maybe ever. He led Gambit alongside Hobbit to win the PGL Krakow Major. He's an exceptionally good player, although he left Team Gambit along with the Gambit coach to join Na'Vi, where you can see him currently. Simple to Team Liquid. I don't know if you guys remember the controversy around Simple, just as a person and player. He joined Liquid in early 2016, and he's renowned as one of the most aggressive op players in the world, as you can see by some of his very famous clips here.
Place there, Simple just jumping casually into the side. He's going to fall down again. What is this clutch from Simple? Are you serious? What is that? You can't do that, Simple. That's not allowed. This is not FPL. This is a major.
He's considered by many to not only be one of the greatest op players in the world, but many people think he's the greatest player to ever touch CSGO, period. A lot of people had doubts about Simple for probably longer than they should have, although now he's an outstanding player, and you can find him on Team Na'Vi alongside Zeus. On to number 6, we have Stewie 2K to Cloud9. Stewie 2K is one of the greatest NA players right now. He joined Cloud9 in early 2016. Stewie had probably the most controversial debut in CSGO of any player ever, but for sure of any player on this list.
I'm not sure why people keep characterizing it as though Stewie is one of these guys who's just a monster online, he just hasn't proved it offline. It doesn't seem the case from what I've seen. Now, in terms of his actual skill set and his style, he's a very aggressive player, he's an entry player, and he's a guy who it seems like he just likes to take aim duels 24/7.
Cloud9 took a huge risk bringing Stewie onto the team because he had no prior team experience and pretty controversial playstyles. Although Stewie shined almost immediately, shattering any doubts except for maybe about his attitude, because a lot of people like to get on him for that. Although in this case, it's pretty irrelevant. Stewie is still on Cloud9 and still killing it every single match. It's really fun to watch him play. Resdraken to NIP. This is one of the best Swedish duos right now, and Draken joined NIP in early 2017, followed closely by Rez in mid-2017. Both are solid individual players, and they create some really interesting team play together. After joining, it became very apparent that they had an instant impact on LAN events for NIP, as they went on to win IEM Oakland, putting some flame back into the NIP fanbase. It's really fun to watch this duo play, and I would highly recommend keeping an eye out for them. Ropes to Mouse Esports. Ropes is probably the best player out of Estonia. I hadn't heard of Estonia before this, but I'm glad I have now. If you knew about Estonia, make sure to let me know that you're better at geography than I am, although I'm really bad at geography, and he's an outstanding player who came out of nowhere. We don't have any other players that have come out of Estonia. He had nearly no prior team experience before joining MOUZ, a lot like Stewie 2K. So it's safe to say that MOUZ took a huge risk when they picked a player like this up, and many people thought even if he was good, he wouldn't be able to perform well at LAN events, although he took the chance to prove all of these people wrong, winning events like ESG Mykonos. I'm sorry if I didn't know how to pronounce that. I'm good at pronouncing words, I'm not good at pronouncing names. That's just a thing that I have. I'll even hear the name before and just forget, so don't judge me. Moving on to a more familiar name though, we have Fnatic and Godsent mixing up their teams. Fnatic was really struggling after their golden era of dominance and having trouble beating even some of the lower tier teams in CSGO. It was pretty obvious that something needed to change. Godsent was a newly formed Swedish team, and they decided to pick up the majority of the Fnatic lineup, and this included JW, Flusha, Krims, and Pronax. Obviously, this is a huge shuffle, as Fnatic for a long time was probably the undisputed best team in the world with JW at the head. It was a crazy golden era. They all shuffled up. Although what makes this really interesting is the lineup on Godsent didn't really work out, and save Pronax, the entire group is now back at Fnatic. Speaking of team mix-ups, we have Luminosity Gaming picking up FNX, Taco, and Zeus. This was a bit before LG's legendary MLG Columbus win, and I think what really kicked off what led up to it. FNX, Taco, and Zeus moved to Luminosity in late 2015. It's worth noting that Zeus, he's a coach, so he didn't actually play in the game, so if you're looking for his name in a game, you're not really going to see it on the screen. And this is really what I think kicked up the upward swing of LG winning their major titles. It really showcased the raw talent that's coming out of Brazil, and especially with Fallen making his tutorial videos for Brazil, and even some in English, we can expect a lot more talent coming out of Brazil, I think. And this is really what kicked off the start of a big transfer, which was to SK Gaming, where all the Luminosity players went, and right now SK is really considered to be the best team, maybe only contested by FaZe, which is our #1 spot. Guardian and Olaf Meister to FaZe. Guardian and Olaf, I think, are, needless to say, a very deadly combo. They're just deadly individually, so just combine these two people and bam, you got an even more deadly combo. The 2-star players joined FaZe, departing from Fnatic and Na'Vi, really stepping out of their comfort zone.
Having Guardian, Rain, Nico all on the same teams, and now just you guys are a team.
Yeah, it's just a team. I mean, it was a little bit nervous in the start, of course, because they were doing so good before we joined. So you want to prove that you deserve a spot in this team. But we have a lot of fun. We joke a lot, and yeah, it just feels amazing.
Just think of it this way: when they joined FaZe, from their individual countries, they had to start speaking English rather than their native languages, which a lot of people thought this would prevent this from really shining and being able to play to their full potential. But right now, FaZe is one of the top 3 teams in the world, and I don't think anybody's really contesting the fact that Guardian and Olaf are really going off right now. Howdy, y'all. Welcome to the Q&A portion of the video. Today, it is sponsored by CSGO Empire. I wanted to add, because I didn't like the idea of promoting my Twitter before more than just the little slate at the bottom left, but I do really want to start interacting with you guys more. So if you do want to go follow me on Twitter, I'll be taking, I think, half of the questions for this portion of each video from my Twitter from now on. So make sure to go follow at BradenVG. You can see it on screen right now. I'm going to try to be a lot more active on there because I'm not too great at the social media thing, especially if you want to talk about music, maybe hip hop, stuff like that. I would love to interact with you guys more on that basis, so make sure to go check it out. We have 2 questions from Smooth Waves. Number 1 is, what started you to make YouTube videos? This is a well-kept secret, but I started making videos on Minecraft, just playing with my friends, literally just documenting fun times. I just use that to teach myself to edit videos, and from there here I am. It's incredible the support that I've had, both from people I know and from you guys, just from the start when I was making cringy Minecraft videos. Next, he said, what if you never followed your YouTube career? What would you be doing right now? Probably trying to make more YouTube videos. I'd probably be making more Let's Play stuff. I don't know. I would still be doing this for sure. I just wouldn't be doing it as much, I think. Right after that question, we're gonna put in, depending on what this is. Of course, it's that. Jeez. We're gonna put 25 in on CT and ask the next question. This is from Daniel Fedorov. Like I said before, I'm terrible with names. What does the ting go? I can't roll my tongue, but I think it goes something like and losing, apparently. We're gonna put 25 more on CT and ask the next question, which is, what IQ do you need to watch Rick and Morty? A very high one, because I mean, to be fair, you gotta have a high IQ to watch Rick and Morty, and apparently you gotta have a high IQ to win CSGO bets, because I don't have that. Gonna put 50 on CT, make worse life decisions than before. That's my motto. And the final question is, where do babies come from? They come from cranes high in the sky, and they come from me losing coins like so. I'm gonna do one more bet on CT. If I lose this, I'm gonna get fired. But again, make sure to follow CSGO Empire on Twitter and me if you want to hang out and talk, because I want to start using my Twitter more. There we go. We won one, guys. We only lost $75. I hate everything. Thank you guys so much for sticking around until this portion of the video. I will be posting again in the Valve Guides community section and on my Twitter for different questions and comments that you guys want me to read. So make sure to check that out. I'll see you guys next time.